The following program is brought to you with limited commercial interruption.
Today's broadcast is being simulcast in broken English.
I'm here to show the world. I'm here to show the world.
Welcome to the show that we're doing right now.
What the hell are we doing on this show?
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
Let's go. What is this?
Giggity, 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 goo.
Who else but
The Q.
it's showtime? Gentlemen, let's get down to business.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Yeah, I can dig it, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the QNow. My name is Mark Bland.
I am Jason Kull.
There you go. Sorry, I get this loud over here. I'm sorry about that, Jay. All right, let's try this again. Let's try this again. Let's try to be professional.
Let's do it.
Broadcasters.
I won't time.
Ladies and
with
gentlemen,
feeling.
welcome to the QNow. My name is Mark Bland.
And I am Jason Kull.
And welcome to the show. We appreciate you guys tuning in every single week from the Gateway Fiber Studios here of KYRO. You can also listen to us live off of Traveling East and everything at the Facebook page for KYRO. And we are your hosts. I'm Mark. That's Jay. And we love to talk politics and pop culture and fun. And we've got things going on in our lives, and we are excited to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a guest tonight.
Yes, we do.
Now, Jay, you came in hot there, buddy. You stop yelling. We don't need your noises. All those little weird noises. We don't need those.
Yeah,
I'll
try to control mine.
Like
I'm known for yelling.
You're almost like a Bobcat Goldthwait for 2025. You know what I'm saying? You're kind of like
known for yelling.
Imagine, think about that. For years, everyone thought Bobcat Goldthwait legitimately had
Speech about
a speech problem of some sort because he was so good at it, and then they put him in movies with it, and he was so believable with it, and he would do shows outside of movies with the same thing that you thought that was Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah.
But then the 90s came and went, and then the early 2000s came, and by around the 08, 09, 2010, he kind of peaks back up out of the existence, and you hear him with a normal voice, and he's doing normal comedy, and it's been that way ever since.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, all of a sudden, Bobcat became this comedian that just has a normal voice that does normal things, and you're like, well, wait. You confused me for an entire decade. Remember Citizens on Patrol? You're one of them.
He had therapy.
You're the guy. You and Hightower and Tackleberry. It's you guys.
It was good stuff.
It was good stuff, but it's just that is always wild to me, you know? So, but I mean, to put on that act, that serious. For that long of time, everywhere you go, and then try to get into your hotel room and just be normal you, talking to yourself in a mirror for a few minutes, or taking a poop or something like that. You're just trying to be normal you, and then somebody calls you on the phone, and you go,
you gotta start doing everyone, let's leave.
Right, exactly. Because think about it. At that time period in history, you don't know who's calling you. We don't have caller ID the way we do in 85. So you just pick the phone up and you're like, hello. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? And so you got to do the whole act, or else. So every time you pick up the phone, your whole life becomes
That'd be exhausting.
It would be exhausting. And I think that's a really great transition. That pretending to be something somewhere where you're not is exhausting.
It is.
And constantly pretending that people are out to get you because they're liberal, or they voted for somebody else different than you, or they went to a library and actually opened a book and read a paragraph and learned information about a law, like the Smoot-Hawley Act, or something like the Taft Act, or something just the Taft-Hartley Act. It's there's just interesting, unique things. The Logan Act. There's all kinds of acts out there.
They got some information and they ran with it.
Exactly. Caught me in the middle of a drink. Sorry. Exactly, Jay. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, this is going to be one of our last shows.
Yeah.
For a little while
here a bit.
With the station. That's not a knock on the station whatsoever. They're fantastic. But there's some opportunities that have arisen that me and Jason have decided we are going to take advantage of those opportunities. And so far, they are working out swimmingly well. And we are very happy with the people that we are working with at Occupy. Yes. And it has been a real blessing in disguise because let me explain, ladies and gentlemen. For a lot of you out there, they don't know. Jason, you know a little bit better because you've been rocking with me for the last 10 years. My career in St. Louis has been tough. If I was to even be somewhat lackadaisical about the way I describe it, I would even say it's tough in that regard. Yes. Right? Even if I was trying to blow it off.
Even the word tough is somewhat lower than what it is.
I'm being very kind by saying tough because people have gone out of their way to try to hinder my careers in multiple facets, whether it was professional wrestling, where people have gone out of their way to tell others before I ever got to them or talked to them or even knew them about me in a negative fashion and tried to dissuade people from working with me. Not everybody listens to those individuals, but if you dealt with someone who did that and you knew they did it to Mark, I would definitely not want to do business or around that person at the same point because that's the type of person who you don't want to be around. Okay, at the same point, you can have an opinion about somebody if they ask you your opinion. You see, it's one thing to give your opinion unsolicited. So, we come here and we do a political radio show, or we do our stuff with Occupy and we're doing a political talk show. But we're talking politics. That's what we're doing for a living. That's what Fox does to make money. That's what I do. Yep. That's what Jesse Waters does. Dan Bongino. Our boy over there, Hannity.
Well, Bongino's got a government job now.
I'm just saying, all of them.
Yeah.
We do this. This is what we do. That's okay? True. And so if you've got people actively and aggressively going after you and trying to subvert you before you ever get a chance to do anything, you can't get anywhere in the business. And then they lie about it. And here's the best part. Some of these people, they will wait in lay. They will sit there for a long time. And they will wait until the opportunity is. But if you give it unsolicited, then you're trying to subvert potentially someone else. If a person's name comes up in conversation, and then somebody goes, I'm not a big fan of him. Oh, that person, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's a conversation between a group of people. Yeah, that can happen. People are going to talk about people that they know. But to go out of your way to tell someone, don't do this.
Yeah, and to start the conversation.
You weren't
asked. I'm going to tell you something.
Right, exactly. The minute you bring that up.
But you know what?
I'm going to say something.
You know what? Think about this. Wrestling, radio. Come June, you're a Hall of Fame wrestler.
True.
And a national broadcaster.
Yeah, I understand. Well, I'm already a national broadcaster. We've been national broadcasters for a long time, dude. Yeah. We're in multiple markets.
That's true. That's true.
So it's not like we haven't been that, but I know what you're saying, though.
But a bigger...
And I understand that.
Bigger platform.
But here's the funny thing. Now there's a bunch of people that I could have benefited and helped.
Yeah.
I know who those people are that did what they did to me. I don't need to go out of my way to help them. I don't have to go out of my way to be mean to them.
No.
And I'm never going to because that's just not my character. That's not who I am. That's not how I handle myself.
We don't punch down.
Right? We don't punch down. And literally, if it don't exist, you can say, oh, I heard this or I heard that. But the question is, did this happen?
Yeah.
If it doesn't exist, then there's nothing to discuss.
You know what? St. Louis isn't much different from a small town in Iowa.
And that's fine.
I grew up with the same stuff.
And the reason I brought that up, ladies and gentlemen, is simply this. We've worked really hard in St. Louis together, me and Jason together. Just the last 10 years of us working together.
We've eaten a lot of crap.
A lot of crow.
Yeah.
Jason, originally, before he got involved with me, was told by people, watch out for that guy.
That's true.
Don't talk to that guy. Jason
Random people I don't even know.
Random people that he didn't even know went out of their way to tell him that. He ran into me at a gas station. By chance.
That is true.
I invited him to be on the show if he'd like. He came and sat down. Now he's my co-host, and he's getting ready to take off with me on this situation because he didn't listen to those people. He didn't let them dictate what it was. No. He let my actions with him dictate his relationship with me. And so every time they turned around and said, this ain't going to happen, Jay came in for free many times, sat right there next to me, and dealt with whatever it was that we had to deal with. An FCC issue, a this issue, a that issue.
A few crazy characters along the way. And by the way, slowly over time, Jason started to see, there's a crazy character there like Mark always talks about. I didn't expect that, but there it is. Okay. Oh, wait, another couple years goes by. Look at this. This happens. They did this. This is kind of crazy. And before you know it, now he's gone and with me for 10 years. He's pieced a bunch of things together and goes, I'm not a fan either. Twitter stalkers?
Oh, I'm not. But even in the market, I'm not a fan of the radio market here. I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of the way people treat each other. Why would you not? And by the way, we're sitting right here, right now at KYRO.
Yeah.
We are live on the radio on this Fox News affiliate. Fox News had what some of the biggest liberal guys in the country wanted. Some of the biggest in the country wanted. Fox had it sitting right here, and it walked.
Right.
It walked.
Should go through your baseball cards more often. Fox News.
You really should.
You might have a good one in there.
You never know. And we're not here, like I said, KYRO as a station has been fine to us. They've been great to us. We are a fan of KYRO. We have been proud to be a part of the station and work with them. And even though we're going on a hiatus.
We are.
And we don't know how long that hiatus will last. It could be just a few months. It could end up being a few years.
Yeah.
We don't know. We have no idea where this train's taking us. It might take us straight to being irrelevant forever. And that's fine too. Listen, we're cool with that also.
That's fine.
Because guess what we are right now?
Yeah, irrelevant.
Pretty much irrelevant at this point.
This irrelevant,
this
irrelevant will be a lucrative irrelevant. So when that train ends,
but everybody else goes around thinking that we think we're hot stuff and we got millions of viewers. It's like,
have you seen me?
Stating that we have more than the others doesn't mean we think we're better than everybody. It's just literally the number 755 is higher than 391.
That is true.
That's it. That's the only thing.
That is true. I do not need A1 to figure that out. I can count, and I know what numbers look like and which one's higher.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying there. I totally get it. But that's the simple background of it. There's not some nefarious attitude or egregious attack. We've never held anybody out from being on, I don't know, election coverage for a major election. We've never done that.
We love dissenting opinions.
We love to sit down and So
education is
for everybody at our radio station and in the St. Louis area, and especially in Warren County, Lincoln County, this area out here that listens to us every week. Okay, you know there are people that say that they're politically incorrect, and that's fine because being politically incorrect means not having the right political opinion.
Yeah, no. Now, doesn't necessarily mean you're rude.
So for a radio station like this, a show like me and Jason's that's more moderate and has a little bit of a liberal feel to it in the way that we present politics and discuss it and all that, we are politically incorrect.
No, we're definitely not.
For the radio station, but for the we are totally politically incorrect for this station.
Yes. We do not fit in.
We do not fit in. That we literally are that. That's what we are. Because it literally is the way the juxtaposition works.
Yes.
For that type of politics, right? Blue people, red station. Or blue station, red people. You know that one guy who's the Republican on CNN? He always sticks out. Yep, that guy.
That's the guy.
He's with the salt and pepper hair who always says something stupid, and then they're just like, okay, dude.
There's definitely not a lot of purple around this area.
And that's funny because Missouri for many years has been a purple style.
Yeah.
Purple style.
You don't see that anymore.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, I'm going to explain to you who we got coming on the show tonight, and we're going to discuss all the fun that's going on in that world. We'll be back on the QNow right after this. $12:80 a.m. 105.3 KYRO. Soundgarden to bring you back here.
That's on my shirt.
No poisons on your shirt.
Yeah, that's this poison.
That's true. Welcome back to the QNow. Jason Kull and Mark Bland hanging out with you guys on a awesome Thursday night, 7 to 9 p.m. And we are doing one of our last shows. We really don't have a lot of show prep for this show. We just talk. Listen, don't worry. Don't worry. We got some politics to talk to you about right now because we're waiting on somebody. And that person that we're waiting on told us that he would make an appearance on the show.
Yeah, he was coming.
Evidently, that appearance is his magic trick of being completely disappeared because he's not here at all for the appearance on our show. That would be one Keegan Emmert. He is our guest tonight. He's the magician that we like to have on the show.
That's great.
And Keegan is always fun to have on the show and talk to. And so we're really excited to have him come back and hang out with us. You know what I'm going to miss about the Q? Is doing Tournament of Pop Cultures.
Yeah, we'll have to fit that in.
I feel like we're going to be able to pull that off a little.
We can put it up on the screen.
We can put it up on the screen and show people things like, there's a lot more abilities we have with our new studio set up. It's a lot more high end than a lot of the things we've been able to do over the last few years. So we're excited about that. At the same point, KYRO has been a wonderful place to be.
Yes.
And because they've been a wonderful place to be, we love coming here, doing our show. We've even talked behind the scenes about, hey, even when it's like political time, if you need a couple talking heads, and we're not with you guys like that right then, you call us.
Yeah.
Let us know. We'll come in. We'll sit down. We like the dissenting opinions.
Yeah.
We like conversation. We don't think that it has to be all liberal, all Democrat, all Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, whatever you want to call it, Tim Waltz all the time. It could be a little Mike Waltz sometimes. Not just Tim Waltz, Mike Waltz.
Fist bump, fire flag.
That's right. Fist bump, fire flag. Fist bump, fire flag, guys. He's the new ambassador, by the way.
Yes, he's our new UN ambassador.
After he got fired from his other job.
Less likely to text maybe. I don't know what happened.
Mike Waltz, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't remember, he is the one that was in the Signal chat with Pete Hegseth, one of Jason's favorite people on Earth.
He is my favorite guy. He's my bro.
And Pete Hegseth made a mistake and put Mike Waltz and a bunch of people into a chat together. And then Mike brought in a journalist.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I'm going to bring in Mr. Goldstein.
This guy from
Goldberg.
This huge media outlet.
Landing. He's an editor in
Which,
chief.
by the way, why would you guys care? You're the ones who constantly claim that everything everybody else reports on is just fake news.
Yeah.
So if there's a guy from fake news inside of your chat, he's probably just going to lie, right? That's what he does. All he does is he gets out and he lies. So who cares if he's in your chat? Yeah. He's just going to go say some lies that don't mean anything that you won't have to worry about or back up at all. Except for it was Jeffrey Goldberg. And he's got awards. And he's got
right?
a real career. And he's been doing for the New York Times and the Washington Post and high-end places around the world for years. So it wasn't some 23-year-old that just got some snot off of his nose and you got lucky to be in the chat.
And he kept all those.
No. You guys took some guy like a Walter Cronkite and threw him in the middle of your chat and was like, don't record anything. don't investigate of your journalism at all. Yeah, could you imagine?
He had to have thought he was set up.
But by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that pro wrestling handbook is being used right now with the Mike Waltz situation. Because off of that Signal chat, they caught a lot of flack.
Yeah.
In social media and around the world. Oh, trust me, I guarantee you, every single day, Elon Musk has a literal list of the top 50 search results and 50 things people posted, word. And anything political that runs on that list, it's set off to the side and these are the things everyone in the country is talking about right now. We've got to stay ahead of this or this or this. And that's why they keep doing their little throw as much baloney against the wall, whichever thing sticks, fine. Let's just keep throwing. Maybe if you slap a piece as it falls, that'll be great too, because that's an extra explosion. So that's more crap, because we got to keep them spinning in their wheels. So Mike Waltz was in the Signal chat. Mike Waltz was fired today first. Fired. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you have been fired from a company to turn around and be rehired and promoted to a different section of the exact
same company. Think about that.
Yeah.
You were fired as executive vice president and then rehired as the president of the company when they easily could have just fired the president and moved you into the president's role. They don't need to fire you to hire you back. Once again, that's a very Doge type of thing to do with a missile silo. Let's just go fire the people that take 2 years to train. Oh, wait. We need to hire them right back immediately because we make stupid decisions.
And it's a very public job. It's more public than National Security Advisor or whatever he was. That's a close-knit thing. This is the UN ambassador. He's going to be on TV all the time.
Now, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. He is now a UN ambassador.
Yeah. You could share text with
As an ambassador, he will be seen more often.
Well, there's constant stuff going on in the UN.
It's wild. And it makes no sense right now. None of this makes sense, guys. None of it.
No, at all.
Like, literally, one of the things me and Jason were talking on the ride up here was a clip I saw earlier today. And I'd play it for you if I had it set up, but I didn't really set anything up for the show. I was going to shoot from the hip for the majority of the show because that's how good we really are. We don't even need show prep. Show prep makes our jobs that much easier to do.
Show prep is that soda and that beef stick.
Yeah, it's the soda. It's the soda from the gas. We're showing it on the Facebook right now. That's our soda from the gas. That's our show prep. Here, show prep. Phone that's not even turned on. Well, now it turned on, but it wasn't even turned on.
Yeah.
Sitting right here on the desk, right next to me. Here, I'll put it over here so you can see. It's just my phone.
Yeah, look, my phone's not even face up. It's face down.
There's my phone. Not even reading from it. Like, this is our show. Like, we're that good at what we do. Okay, so with that being the statement, what were we talking about again? We were talking about, the thing we were talking about in the car on the way here.
Yes, the video.
Stephen Miller.
Yep.
Stephen Miller has been doing more and more press conferences lately. And his latest one, he was asked a question by a reporter from the reporter pool who basically said, hey, these China tariffs, the prices haven't gone back down. It's supposed to be day one this and day one that. How do you answer those people who are still feeling it months down the road? Not day one, like you guys said. He didn't take it as a personal slight. Stephen actually answered the question, except for in a typical Trump administration way where it makes no sense. Because once you hear what the reasoning, you go, well, that doesn't need to be done. Well, everything is clumsy, as we've said, clumsy.
Yes,
clumsy is a big word, and always for no reason. Unnecessary is the other. Clumsy and unnecessary.
That's right.
That's the two things that are the Trump presidency at all times. Clumsy and unnecessary. It's either one of those two things at all times. So now, Jason, he explained to the reporter that the reason we're doing the tariffs on China is to bring those jobs back to America by telling them we're going to put a bunch of tariffs on your corporations and companies throughout your... So, guys, the way tariffs work, I'm a person in China, not an American, not a Kamala Harris supporter, not a Joe Biden lover. No. I am a Chinese person who works at a company in China. And we make something that people in America like to buy. Mm-hmm. And then Donald Trump says, I'm going to put 100% tariffs on you. So he literally doubles the price immediately of everything we sell. So if we were selling them for $25, now I got to go to Amazon and sell them for $50 just to get by. And so I'm not an American. I'm not a Kamala Harris supporter. I'm just some Chinese person. I don't even care about Donald Trump or anybody in America. I work at this place over here. My Monday through Friday and where I brush my teeth and I poop is over here. So I don't care about over there. Nothing over there going on matters. And so, therefore, boom.
You know,
why would I need you to have more jobs? And by the way, me getting charged up on my Chinese job, that doesn't make an American job that moved their business over here 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't make them go, well, ni hao over here. She finally has got what she needs, so I'm going to take my job and move it back to the U.S. No, they moved it there because in the 90s, they all learned from Dick Cheney and all them, hey, it's cheaper to have your companies over there in Mexico and over in other countries. Go produce our quality goods over there. By the way, your super Gulf of America, patriotic American president has a lot of made in China on his hats over 40 years
back in the day, and a lot of people still got those Made in China tags on their Make America Great Again hats as they wear them. So don't forget about that.
But, when you hear them say these things like the goods are going down, the prices are going down, gas is going down, they know it's not true, but yet they accept it. But if Stephen Miller would have come out and said the Carolina Panthers are the greatest football team ever, they would have lost their mind. They would have been like, why is he lying? What is he doing? The things they say, for some reason, they believe that.
See, and that's the thing. You take them out of their world of politics.
Yeah.
You put them into another world where there's fan base like, oh, I don't think Beyonce's that good of a singer. Go ahead and say that. You're going to find out real quick that there's other groups and characters and people out there that have power and influence, and they will teach you a lesson about how you're not always right because you just open your mouth.
But they just accept some lies. Like, they wouldn't accept that. If I was to say,
Correct.
If I was to tell someone, the Nationals are the best team in baseball.
If I might be so bold to finish my original thing. So Stephen Miller tells all of these people in the press corps, the reason we're doing this is because it's going to make people move jobs back to America. And it's like, will it? Because if I'm an American corporate businessman who moved my company there 25 years ago, and now here it is 25 years later, and I've been very happy making good money with many different types of presidents, including Donald Trump for 4 years, I was fine. By the way, for all of you out there that are so smart about Trump and his tariffs, Donald Trump had tariffs in his first term. They didn't crash your 401k. They didn't screw up all of your allies' relationships with the country. None of that happened in that first term. It must be something that happened this term that turned them all against them. Maybe new tariffs for no reason whatsoever.
Here's the thing: like, they're
unnecessary.
They're not going to bring the company back over here and put a factory here because the tariff might be 40%, 50%. They're going to pay 300% more in payroll because they're paying $8, $9. Those jobs are 25, 28, 30 and up here.
Right,
it's never coming back.
You forget, you white people here in America are a bunch of divas. You want to be paid. You want your green M&Ms with one red one in the middle. That's what you want. You all think you are superstars with rider contracts. You're fat and can barely walk, most of you. What are you talking about?
But that's it. Like, I don't know. I just don't understand why they accept some lies.
By the way, I can barely walk. And I'm not even fat. And I'm not even fat.
But, they accept some things and they wouldn't accept rational lies, like lies that are obvious. But these other ones are just as obvious, but they don't treat it
now,
like that.
I don't personally, as we've said on this show.
Yes.
I don't personally have a problem with Donald Trump as a person. I don't know the man. I've never met him.
Yeah.
I don't have a background on him directly other than what we see in the media and the moves. And by the way, our show and our news show, that's what me and Jason do. We take the news stories that are in the news and we discuss them.
Yeah.
So we don't have a dog in the fight technically in Washington, D.C. outside of Josh Hawley or Eric Schmidt.
Yeah,
they're our guys. Are our people. Outside of that, like, we don't really have a dog in the fight. And so, like, we don't move the needle in Washington, D.C. That's what I need everybody to understand. Whether we're here at KYRO at this level or we're working with Occupy doing the stuff with them at their level or anything else we end up doing in our career, we are not the ones who move the needle in Washington, D.C. We're not the ones who make a comment on our show, and that's going to make Donald Trump change his mind and do this for America, or change his mind and do this against America.
Yeah.
It's never going to be because Mark said something or Jason said something.
No.
They don't listen to us. We don't matter.
They should.
Well, maybe they should because
say such silly things.
We're citizens who vote for them.
That is true.
That's why they should listen to us. And by the way, let's talk about that. Are you guys watching what's happening? High prices? Yeah, right now you've got a lot of constituents, congressmen and senators, people that are being real quiet. Congress, where's Congress's backbone right now? They haven't stood up to do anything, much less go after Trump. They haven't stood up to do anything, like new laws, new rules, new this, new that.
The Senate passed their tariff thing.
Absolutely nothing.
But the House probably won't pass that. They passed a bill to pull the tariffs off Canada.
Okay, but do you see what I'm saying? Like, okay, here's my job. I should be working on a new highway system from the East Coast to the West Coast so that we have 3 one in the south, one in the middle, and one in the north, so we can span the entire country very easily. But instead of doing that, I just leave I-70. That's it. And then I worry about some rule that was put in place 2 months ago by Donald Trump. I've got to find a way to get rid of it today. And that's it. See, I didn't even get to any of the stuff we wanted to work on from the campaign promises. Yeah. Cheaper gas prices, price gouging, all of these things that you guys talked about as Republicans and Democrats moving in to that 2024 election. Neither side in Congress is working on any of it.
I mean,
so if that's the case, that nobody's working on any of that, then nothing is getting done. So Donald Trump will keep doing these crazy things. We will get through 2025. 2026 will arise, and it will be midterm year.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of 2026, you're going to start seeing the primaries. You're going to start seeing the players. And you're going to start seeing people losing, getting bumped.
Yep.
Before they even get a chance to get elected on for the midterm day. And that's when the eyes are going to start to open. The things are going to change. Now, I will say this. Come 2026 midterms, if we are completely wrong, and this is another major pickup for Republicans. Let's say they pick up a few seats of this and that. And it seems like America spoke again, and they went down that road more. I am going to tell you all this. At that point, you might as well get ready for what's coming over the next few years after that.
Yeah, it's a dictatorship.
It is. It is legitimately that. We are already on the precipice. This man is...
Well, you have all those people complaining about prices.
He makes me choke.
But
I
yet,
can't even speak about this man. He makes me choke.
But yet, when Biden was president, one party voted down a price gouging bill.
But they don't care. See,
that's the thing. Like you don't want high prices.
Bring it up, but they don't care.
Yeah, that's crazy that they don't care because that's literally what they're talking about.
It's not crazy that they don't care. That's who they are. We figured it out. Now, I have noticed. What did I just bring up? I brought up something in the last few years. I said it. I was getting ready to say it right before
we were talking about the prices and then
the gouging. Yeah,
the gouging, and then if they lose the midterm, if the Democrats lose the midterms,
it's going to get worse. It's going to get a lot worse. Yeah. The authoritarianism, the Department of Education thing.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this week Donald Trump decided that he wanted to instill new rules that he felt were important to the disciplining of children at public schools. Now, the same public schools that he has just literally shut the United States Federal Department of Education down for. So he had an entire... So hold on, Jay. He had an entire department designed that was already working with the entire country and all of the school districts in a one-on-one fashion. They had emails and connections and relationships and people in place to instill things for the Federal Department of Education to be instituted across the country. He got rid of it because dumb people said, I don't like that others get money to go to college. And I don't have the ability to sit in a class and learn like they do. So I got to go dig irrigation wells, or I got to go roof houses, or I got to go do road work, or I got to go do this. Not bad jobs, good jobs, fine jobs for all of you Americans. Not a problem. But because you didn't get to do that, you got mad and butthurt.
Yeah.
And you pointed at the kid with the college degree and were like, screw that 22-year-old. He's a snot-nosed punk Kamala Harris supporter.
Hey, you know what? I got something for us on the other side of the break coming up in a few minutes.
That's right. We do got a break coming up right now. We'll be back.
Our man's on the way.
The show right after this. $12:80 a.m. 105.3. Welcome back to KYRO and the QNow. Mark Bland, Jason Call, and our guest. Our guest has arrived.
He's here.
I have.
The boy is back in town.
There we go, right?
Guess who just got back today? Ladies and gentlemen, Keegan Emmert is here. Evidently, Jason does.
Well, we got to put Thin Lizzy on.
I can't make that appear.
It's 70s rock.
Yeah.
I think you're legally obligated to do cocaine if you're listening to 70s rock.
Well, okay. Keegan,
you are now going to be part of a serious discussion between Mark and Jason live here on the radio.
Okay.
All right.
That has to happen because Jason makes these dumb comments sometimes. He really does. You know, I realize Jason is just suckered into musical genres and decades.
Oh, yeah.
Deeper than any other human being.
Mark,
so he will find a way.
He doesn't
to
like
just...
Soundgarden.
Oh.
No,
right?
Okay.
Think about that.
Wait a second. Okay. Hey, no.
Yeah.
No. That's
okay.
great.
Okay.
No,
Okay. No.
Keegan?
Yeah.
Keegan?
Well, he doesn't not like them. He
Hold
just
on. No.
doesn't think they're very good.
Say it up. Say more. Get all of it out of your system so then I'll speak.
Well, that's it.
Go ahead,
He doesn't like Soundgarden.
okay.
That's it.
He doesn't like Soundgarden, right?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
That was the end of it.
So where Jason comes to that assumption from, it's an assumption, is we were talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and how they were getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I said they don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. That's what I said. I didn't say Soundgarden sucked and I don't like them.
Well, he said
and
the
I hate
Wallflowers
them.
were better than them.
I said the Wallflowers were equal.
Oh, that's right. Equal.
Say that.
Equal.
Equal with one headlight, Black Hole Sun. Blow up the outside world. Blow it up, Austin.
Right?
Blow it. Hey, do you guys know any other lyrics? No, just keep saying blow it up. Okay, blow up the outside world. More cocaine.
Boom, man.
Wait, where's that Temple pilot guy? He flies plane here yet? I need him. Scotty, where you at? Ladies and gentlemen, he just loves genre. He has separated himself from normal reality to the point of you can't say anything bad about 70s music because there's one good song, at least here, and because of that, it means this is fine. And it's like, nope. I'm sorry, Captain Tennille. That's not how this works, Jay.
I'm not even sure what's happening at this point.
Once again,
wait.
Let's just ask him real quick. Conversation,
wait,
then?
do you think Soundgarden deserves to be in the Hall of Fame?
I do, because for one, aren't the other grunge bands in there? Aren't Nirvana and Pearl Jam in there already?
Nirvana and Pearl Jam are much higher on the totem pole of iconic.
Yeah, but Soundgarden started grunge. Soundgarden and Melvin started grunge in 1987.
If they started grunge, then
It's
why
not if
weren't
they did.
the first picked?
They were the first to
They
get a
didn't
major
do it
label.
as good as Nirvana because they
got
weren't
their
Nirvana
as
got more
good.
popular.
They got their major label deal the same year Nirvana did, 1991.
Great. But was it a real major label deal like Nirvana's, or
Yeah,
was
it was
their
A&M
deal?
Musical.
That's fine. I'm not saying it was like.
What are we talking about?
You keep wanting to make it about a bunch of other things that don't matter.
Only Soundgarden. I don't care about anything else. They are a good band.
Okay.
End of story.
I got signed to a record label. Doesn't mean you're good. Do you know how many people I've dropped from record labels because they weren't as good as the next person I signed?
Probably.
A bunch. So that doesn't mean you're good. Having it at the same time as another group that's better than you with 9,000 hits doesn't mean you're good. What makes you good is either you're good and everyone catches on and notices, or you're not. Chris Cornell himself was very talented, a very good player, and I'm going to give him his roses that he deserves, for sure. Outside of that, Soundgarden as a group, they're not amazing.
Do you know
They
who
were fine.
the drummer for Pearl Jam is? Soundgarden's drummer.
Possibly.
Matt Cameron.
Matt
No,
Cameron.
it's not possibly. He is.
Yeah.
Matt Cameron?
Yeah. So he plays for both bands.
Yeah.
Okay. Once again,
He's talented.
the majority of individuals, so for me, my majority, not all of it, but the majority of my musical influence and background is hip hop. That's where my main stable is laid, okay? When it comes to how I work in the music industry. I've had rock bands. I've been business partners with other major artists that are country stars and have had country bands. So I've worked in each of the genres. I know players in the world, but I don't have, as far as the research side, I'm not Matt Pinfield, okay? I don't know every single band that ever existed in the 90s and every single date, or every single date that their song played on MTV2. I don't know that.
You know one thing about Matt Pinfield? His T-shirt game is solid. He's always taking pictures.
Jason
His T-shirt
thinks
game is
a real
just solid.
T-shirt game is just wearing rock band T-shirts
No,
of popular rock bands.
He's got the great ones, though. He's got ones you've never seen before. I don't know where he gets them.
Oh, he got a NoFX shirt on. Oh, wow.
No, he doesn't.
NoFX shirt. Wow.
He's not wearing a NoFX shirt.
Amazing.
I guarantee Matt Pinfield.
He's got a Rancid shirt. Oh,
No!
He might wear a Rancid shirt. Maybe.
Amazing.
He might wear a Rancid shirt.
My God.
They are a spinoff of Operation Ivy, which is one of the bigger pop punk bands. It's kind of like their Mount Rushmore, really.
They're Mount Rushmore, sir.
For pop punk.
Now, you feel that Soundgarden should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Now, let me give you another piece of context to add to it, and then you make your decision. Give me your final.
Okay.
You give me your final piece after this. Chubby Checker is also going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year. Okay. Chubby Checker first had his hit in 1955, 6, whatever it was. He's been waiting for 70 years off one hit to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. By the way, if I would have walked up to you before this show and said, do you think Chubby Checker's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? You know, the guy who does Let's Twist?
I would have said yes.
You would have said yes because he's so old.
Yeah.
And that's Elvis Presley and Chuck Berry and all of those guys that have already been in there for 50 years.
Yeah.
You would have thought that. But no, he's going in this year. My argument was, sorry, Soundgarden with Black Hole Sun. You need to wait 40 more years so you get your shot. And then once you put in the same time Chubby did, you can go in with Nirvana too, just like he gets to go in with Elvis. Do you see? Like, I'm not making it unfair. I'm making it fair across the board. For Jason, that's unfair. That's not fair at all.
Well, because they're good enough to be in now. I don't understand what's happening here.
Well, Jason doesn't listen to the QNow then, Keegan. But go ahead. Please give me your...
My argument,
Yep.
They've technically disbanded since Chris Cornell's passed away.
Of course.
So the band itself's not going to put any more output out.
And that's fair. And that's fair to them. I will give them the credit for that. Like, that's to their defense. I'll give them credit for that. And by the way, taking into the account that he has passed away, putting them in there because that was his first band and that's the one that made them all their money and made a name for themselves, I respect and understand that. And I'm cool with it. By the way, Jason doesn't listen to the QNow now. Do you know how I know? That he literally sits here with headphones on and hears the whole show, but he never listens to any of it? Because just one segment before this, I explained, hey, everybody, in the whole wide world, right here, we make mistakes sometimes. Things are different sometimes. This isn't always perfect. And there it is. Like,
right.
But I'm not going to come off of my belief that this band does or doesn't deserve. I'm just saying I don't think that they should be there right now. I don't think that they should be there yet. And I don't have any, Jason, like the last segment, control over anybody in any of those industries.
We don't.
We don't. And so Mark's opinion of Soundgarden won't get them kicked out.
That's true.
And guess what? They're still going to
kicked out.
And guess what's going to happen?
I don't know.
Guess what's going to happen? They're still going to get inducted on the day they do, and they'll be in the Hall of Fame, and Mark won't matter. It won't even matter what Mark says. Jason, look, you are perfect again.
It's not even the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame anymore at this point, so it doesn't even matter anymore.
That's true.
It's just the Music Hall of Fame. They should change the name. They should change the name.
They should.
And there's always arguments every year about people that should have been in there that haven't been in there yet, like Chubby Checker, like you're saying.
Sure, somebody like
or,
that.
Or people that are going in too soon. There's arguments across the board for
every
all
time
that,
there's a hip-hop or R&B person, it's like, no, don't put them in. It's like, why can't we put Aretha Franklin in? Like, she would have been back in the 70s if it wasn't like, what are you guys doing?
Well, she's kind of rock, though. She's soul rock. Her first stuff, her early stuff, like Respect.
She's just good, though. Like, Respect.
No, she's definitely good.
But my point is even Respect crosses over into mainstream. Like, some people, no matter what your genre is, you're going to cross over. And if you cross over into the mainstream, just like our Tournament of Pop Cultures, you break through to that pop cultural side, like we say, Jason, it's harder to deny you at that point. Like, you've become a part of whatever this is. They used to make, in hip-hop, I talked about hip-hop, they used to say, oh, man, that dude got dissed so hard, they going to make some money off of that, man. That was a good diss track, right? Like, it used to be a joke.
Right.
Until Kendrick Lamar literally wrote a diss track and then won a bunch of Grammys for a diss track. Literally, and now the joke is what he did. And it's like, that's not a joke anymore. Like, he got 5 Grammys off of that. Like, what is going on here?
Not everyone's going to write a diss track, including, like, rock stars.
You're right,
all country are going to do diss tracks.
The minute Nelly did the song with Tim McGraw and brought a little rap, they turned around with Jason Aldean and everybody else and had Dirt Road Anthem and all those other rap-style songs. And now we have Colt Ford. And like I said last night, Jason, in our conversation, it got so bad that they bumped our boy Jelly Roll out of the hip-hop game. Right? Literally out of the hip-hop game into regular music. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know this, Jelly Roll famously, for decades, worked in the hip-hop world as a rapper.
And that's how I met him the first time when he came up from Memphis to do some stuff in St. Louis, and I was working with a producer that just happened to be working with him. And he was a great dude, nice guy, still overweight and a heavy-set dude. And this was like 15, maybe 16, 17 years ago, somewhere in that range. Absolutely fantastic dude. Really good at what he does. You thought eventually he's going to make it.
Right.
He did. But when I saw what he made it for, I was like, whoa, he put 20 years in on this, and he turns around, he has to be Madonna and Cher. Like, I don't understand. You guys bumped him out of his own style.
Yeah.
Just to make him famous. Like,
well, maybe he got tired of trying it for so long.
But I'm in Tennessee. I'm in Nashville. You're a bunch of white dudes trying to rap. I'm right here. You could just pick me up and put money behind me.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm the dumb one, Keegan. Now, Keegan.
Yes.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're excited because you are one of our favorite guests.
Oh, good.
This, like we said, is
You're just
probably
saying that just because I'm here.
Correct. One of our favorite one of our favorite times to be here is with you. So when we decided we were going to do our Say Hey show, there were a couple of people that we hit up. We hit up Jonathan May to see if Big J could come through. Big J was not going to be able to make it. It just wasn't going to work out. Then I hit another person up. They were not able to come through. And so then I was like, who else are we working around and with on this? Because we want this to be a fun show. And he goes, dude, Keegan's always fun. And I said, you know what? I didn't even think about Keegan is always fun. Keegan's where it's at. We love Keegan.
We're going to make a bigger show out of this, but
that's okay. So, Keegan, you're here.
Yes.
And we've got another hour to do, 8 o'clock hour. We're going to have some fun. Do you have some magic with you?
I just so happen to have
the ability
just by coincidence I have
to do magic? Do you know how to do magic?
I think I do, yeah.
You do know how to do magic?
I'm pretty sure he did.
You've seen it before?
Well, what?
Which decade was it, Jason?
Was it in the 70s?
Well, that was probably
it was
the
that's a blur now. That's a blur now.
Best magic.
Which was the Chris Angel era? I need to know. Which was the Chris Angel era?
That would have to be 90s, right?
Oh, yeah,
Chris Angel, no, that would be like early 2000s. That's Spike TV,
it was like
bro.
the hot topic era. Like
Spike TV, bro. That's Spike TV.
Like, I remember.
There's an era where we just say Spike TV and you go, oh, 2008. I remember that. I remember that.
Yep.
That was Girls Gone Wild videos, late at night on infomercials. They don't do those anymore. They used to run
American Ninja Warrior was on there.
They used to, but no, late at night. You know how they had like the slap chop? They used to have like Girls Gone Wild videos that would run in the middle of the night and all that other stuff.
You know what they still have every now and then? They have those chat line ones every now and then. Oh, there's like a girl like laying on her bed going,
those still exist?
Why don't you call me? I'm so bored. It's like, who the hell's doing this? Who's calling that number?
It's probably an AI bot at this point, right?
What are you doing, man?
That is wild.
Just go to sleep at this point.
All right. So, Keegan, we had an idea we wanted to run past you, but it wasn't possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
We thought it would be cool, but guess what? If we have to do it from our new studio, it's totally possible.
Yeah, the tech's not up to par.
And I can't wait to get you over there to check some of that out because I think you're going to have a good time. And the amount of people we're going to be able to get to see you now, yep.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Is that what you guys hear on Spike TV late at night at that garage door? Yup.
Oh, storage wars.
You guys love that, don't you? Yup.
You know what? Speaking of storage wars, who's leaving their $20,000 baseball card collection in the storage and letting it be
Nobody.
taken?
Someone who's forgotten about it.
Well, how expensive is your rent that you can't do that?
The best part about all of those shows is always the same thing. The first season seems like they haven't figured out what their reality show is yet, so it's very realistic. And by the time you get to that last episode, they are wanting to tear each other's necks apart over this one storage, right?
Yes.
By the time you get to season 7, it's fake fights between these two that keep going yup all the time for no reason.
By that point, they're characters.
Right.
He's the bad one. He's the wild card guy. He's
they have their catchphrases.
Right, yeah, they do.
Fair enough. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break here on the show. When we come back, more with our friend Keegan. Magic. We've got magic. You're like Job. You're like Job. That's right. You're Job. You've got magic. All right. We'll be back on the show right after these messages.
1280 AM on 105.3 KYRO. Welcome back to the QNow. Mark Bland, Keegan Emmert, and our boy Jason Kull hanging out and talking to you guys today. You guys having a good time?
Sure. Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here, Keegan. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You are a special person.
Yeah.
We like to call you special.
I am special.
Talent.
You had a smaller bust than the rest of us growing up, so we know how it is.
We know how it is.
Keegan, have you
Mark.
been watching anything politically in the last few weeks at all? At all? Just curious. Just curious.
Yeah, a little bit here and there, but
did anything catch your notice? Is there anything recently that you just kind of were like,
pretty much everything.
Everything. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Keegan, do you vote for people to be elected to positions of power in the United States of America?
I would like to think so, yes.
You do?
Yeah.
So you have a vote?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, great. Keegan seems to be a guest of ours.
Yep.
He is not a Republican, not a Democrat, not a this, not a that. He's just a magician who's a really good dude, and he works hard with a wife and kids, and he seems to think that things aren't doing so great right now. He's not a very happy person about it, seems like. He said no. He said, no, I'm not, things are not right. Yeah.
No.
Nope. They're not. See, there it is.
I mean, that's about it.
And that's it. But that's fair because I want everyone to hear that. The reason I want them to hear that is you're just an honest, normal person. You're not a person like us who works in the world of politics, discusses it, focuses on it, makes money off of it, does our job like we do. Mm-hmm. You're just a normal, everyday person that gets up, puts their pants on, and goes to work. Works hard. Works on his magic. Entertains people on the side. Has a normal, middle-class life. And you're the kind of person that votes. And you live in red state Missouri. Just like Josh Hawley likes to go around and tell people that he's from Missouri. Well, guess what? Here's one of Josh Hawley's constituents right here in the state of Missouri. He is not happy with what has been going on. Jason Kull is another one.
Yes.
He is not happy with what has been going on. Mark's another one. I'm not happy. Other people are not happy. And by the way, 77 million of you voted for Donald Trump. 340 million people are in the United States of America. You are not the majority of America. So when you make your decisions and you pretend like this is on behalf, when Pam Bondi sits up there and says some stupid stuff and says it's on behalf, you're not on behalf of the majority of America. You're actually on behalf of the minority of America,
that's true.
Of the overall. The overall is what you are the president of. You are the president of all 340 million people. If only 77 million really rock with what you say, that's a lot of people. By the way, I think that's less than 25%. That's less than 25% of the population, maybe. We can double check it. Yeah. We can look into it. We can look into it, but it might be less than 25%. It might
be a little over 300 million.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It might be less than 25% of the population. So less than 25%, 75% of every 3 out of 4 people that you see every day do not agree with what Donald Trump is doing at all. Think about that. If you walk into a McDonald's and there's 4 of you standing there to order, 3 of you don't like what Donald Trump does. 3 of you.
You're not
on
happy.
average, 3 of you don't. That's a statistic. And what they hate more than anything about statistics is it takes the proof and it puts it into a number format that can never be denied.
Wait, let me try this. Mark.
Yes, sir.
Just say everything's working. Just say everything's fine. Did you watch that interview with the ABC guy?
Oh my God!
The ABC guy wouldn't say that wasn't
MS-13 was photoshopped on the knuckles, ladies and gentlemen. And he then, after basically berating them and saying that they've been fake news and all this other stuff and how this is why nobody respects you guys. No.
They told him I don't even know who you are.
Don't even know who you are. Be quiet. But I know your name's Todd. I know your name's Todd. I forget everything, but I remember your name's Todd. Nobody knows who you are. Okay.
That's what he said.
And then he turns around to the guy and goes, no, just admit it. Just admit it. Just say that I'm right.
Yeah.
Just say that I'm right. And it's like you want people to lie on your behalf from major media networks so you can turn around and say, see, ABC agrees with me. See, Fox does. See, CBS does. Yeah. And none of them are going to agree with you. Yeah. You get murdered on all of their morning shows. Hold on, Jay. And everybody you guys have as guests on the morning shows, you murder them. Like, where is there a benefit for you guys at all?
That was a disastrous interview.
Yeah,
there
it
were
was.
multiple times. I mean, he stammers. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Doesn't appear to know what Photoshop is. I don't know what he thinks it does.
Oh, remember
You know what I mean?
remember the part where he said, "I'm just the president."
Yeah, I'm just the president.
I'm just the
I
president.
don't know what you want, dude.
I can't get him back. I'm
Right?
just the president. It's like,
Like-
you're the president. By the way, you're the one who likes to run around to everyone on Earth and go, "I'm the most powerful man on Earth.
Right.
That's my job title."
But apparently,
Shut up.
Apparently, he's just above a David Buster's manager.
Yeah, he's kind of like the janitor for his Oval Office, but like one step above him, evidently.
I
Like,
guess I'll be president.
I guess I'll just sit in this office and pretend with this kid and this guy dressed like Darth Vader all the time. I don't know. But, somebody did bring up something, Jay, that I do feel is something that we could focus on and talk about. Dementia.
Yes.
Because one of the things I noticed from that little back and forth with that individual from ABC
Yes.
News was that Don, almost in a dementia way, like he got sidetracked.
Yep.
And so he had to stay on this because he was confused.
Yeah.
And he didn't understand what was going on. And that's what I caught more than anything. It looked like someone who got confused real quick. And then, there was that bullying tactic of just say it. Just say I'm right.
just say.
Outside of that, it was, wait a second. What are you talking? Like, that's not like, I'm confused. Like, you're telling me this, and all of these people over here are telling me this. And it's like, you understand that all the people I work for trust me enough to come sit here with you, the most powerful man on earth, for you to sit there and tell me I'm unknown and I need to lie for you. And by the way, this situation. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well,
that's crazy.
Well, where does he think he got those tattoos? From a laser jet printer? I mean, what are you talking about?
I don't even
It
know.
was obviously printed text.
By the way, you spent an entire summer screaming from New York courthouses about how you have presidential immunity and then had your Supreme Court give you it to turn around and go, I'm just the president.
Yeah.
I can't do anything.
Talking about, I can just do whatever I want.
I have full immunity in my country.
I literally can do whatever I want, but I'm just the president.
The dementia. But the dementia.
It's exhausting.
Guys, it's the dementia.
Yeah.
I think that we're starting to see the slips from Trump.
I think you're right.
I think that they're now going to start trying to cover these tracks over the next couple of years, especially leading into midterms. With as bad as things are going, those people's names are not being said.
Well,
in their towns and where they're from, Jay, the name that they keep hearing around is Trump said. Trump said. Trump said. I'm Josh Hawley. I'm Eric Schmidt. I'm the one who's going to be the senator. I need to get elected.
Yeah.
It's the midterms for me. You're Donald Trump. You're already elected. You got 2 more years before they're even going to talk about you again. Me, I get elected right now. You just spent the last year crashing the economy and pissing everybody off. Now you're trying to pretend that it's the 250th anniversary of America, and you're the greatest thing that's ever existed. And I'm going into these midterms thinking, they're just saying his name and how bad things are, and they don't want to elect anyone that touches him. And I'm one of those guys that has gone on the record everywhere, including KYRO, and said, I'm a Trump guy. I'm on his side, and I'm the senator from the state of blah, 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 blah. And it's like, and now it's going to cost you your job. And all you had to do was Paul Ryan that stuff and back on out. Smart. Like a president would. Like a president would, Jason.
Right?
Because right now, if Paul Ryan was your president, I bet you your GDP would be higher, and I bet you they would have left that stock market alone, so your 401ks would be higher.
Yeah.
Your relationships with allies would be fine.
Yeah.
World wars wouldn't be a potential on the edge of everything. And by the way, you worked a deal out with Ukraine? You went out of your way to tell Zelensky he was a loser as he sat next to you.
Oh,
he shouldn't dress that way. How dare he even come to your Oval? Then you kicked him out of the White House after all that BS. And you told them to go take their tail and shove it between their legs and run away. And they did. And at that point, we were like, oh, well, then there's no reason for them to work with us ever again. And then I don't know what happened or why Zelensky bailed in that aspect. But he caved into Trump also, and I don't know why, because if you're willing to die for your cause, then die for your cause. Like, don't
We've got to stop compromising with a madman. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got to stop. Why do you compromise with a madman when you obviously didn't need to? Clumsy and unnecessary. That is what this presidential administration is. Clumsy and unnecessary. Why do you need it if it's not even required? Like, I don't get it. It makes no sense. The thing with Stephen Miller earlier. China, bring the jobs back. I never finished the other half of that. The other half of that was, well, it's going to make American companies rise again. It's like, how? They find out that they got tariffs over there, so they decide, oh, I'm Betty. I'm not going to get the same hot cocoa from China anymore. I guess I got to go make my own next door. No, they're not going to do that. No. They're just going to go buy a different brand, and it might be from another country that's not the United States. And now, once again, you're out. Do you see how none of this is bringing back jobs? Because you guys made it horrible to work in factories, horrible to work for you as bosses, and now nobody wants it. And by the way, the proof? COVID. When COVID hit, we found out which companies could have stuck around and which ones should have closed up. But what we also learned was, oh, those workers were way more essential in some places than you thought they were, and they definitely deserved their $15 an hour, and they started getting it because that was the big argument back then, $15 an hour minimum wage for McDonald's people and stuff like that. Yeah. Well, COVID hit, and they all got their 15. You don't have that as an excuse. Like, there's no excuse for that now. This is just stupidity at this point. COVID, I can blame on stuff. No, I can't. This is just dumb.
Right.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Keegan, I need you to get ready to exercise that magical muscle that you got, buddy. Not the one in your pants. I saw the twinkle in your eye. He said like this first. He said like that, and then he went like this. He said like this.
It was really going to be a spectacular
Jay. He literally gave it a size like this, and then he went like that. And I'm like, oh. All right, we'll be back right after this, guys. .3 FM, 1280 AM KYRO. Hey, you.
No.
What's your name?
I'm Jason Kull.
I'm Mark Bland.
Yeah.
What's your name?
I'm Keegan Emmert.
Keegan. Hey, Keegan Emmert.
Yeah.
Emeritus.
Yeah.
Emeritus.
Mr. Keegan. Yeah.
They like to call me Marcus Aurelius sometimes. They do. They call me Marcus Aurelius. You know, when I go like this. And then I go like that, and I do the quick finger.
And it's like,
well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is the QNow. You can always find us at theqnow.com. Old episodes, new episodes. This is one of our last shows here at KYRO for a little while. And we've got Keegan Emmert here with us, and he's going to do some magic with us, which we love when Keegan comes to do magic with us because he's always amazing. And if you get a chance, Lock and Key Magic is the name of his magic company and what he does. You've got shows that you do at different places. Where can they find you?
So there's my website. That's www.lockandkeymagic.com.
Right.
I also have a Facebook page. I have an Instagram page. Right. Those are going to be more active in the coming weeks here.
You're famous. You got an Instagram and a Facebook page?
I do, yes.
Man, you're famous.
Got a LinkedIn as well.
Whoa, bro.
I know.
Okay.
The real,
where people really do talk business, actually. You know, that's the funny thing about LinkedIn. They kind of came in, and because they looked so business at the time, we were like, okay, then you're going to be our business thing where we put our like resumes and stuff like that. Everybody's kind of kept LinkedIn like that. They've always kept their profile there, and if they ever need a job, they just kind of go over there and just start talking to people and moving around. And it works out great. And nobody ever bitches about it at all. Like, nobody ever has hey, LinkedIn's a problem. We need to get rid of it like TikTok.
That might be the only successful social media that, actually isn't toxic as much.
Low-key, never had a problem, never shut down, never had
a controversy.
No controversies. And by the way, the same people that are on Facebook, they have their LinkedIn page. There's still no problems on LinkedIn at all.
Right.
Yet they're in Facebook jail every other week. Okay?
Right.
So, I don't understand. All right. So you have your lock, you have your key.
I do.
I guess it's time for us to do the magic.
Yes. Well, I don't have a locker key with me for a trick, although that would have been
been awesome.
That would have been really cool.
You are pretty cool. Now, Keegan, this first trick.
Yes.
What are you requiring, sir?
Well, I'm going to require the both of you.
The both of us.
Oh, I knew it.
It's a two-player.
He said it was a French trick.
Ready Player One.
Now, I wanted this to be special because you guys have been on the air together for how long now?
8.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
This magic trick we're getting ready to do, or this thing that we're getting ready to embark on together, is this something from the 20s? Is it something you learned in like the teens? Is it something from like that aughts, like 09, 08? Like when did
I learn this?
Like when did this kind of come into your peripheral?
I've known about this for a while.
Since before 2020? Since before 2020?
Oh yeah. And actually, you both are gonna know kind of what it is.
This magic trick, Jason, is from the teens.
Yeah.
The 20 teens, bro.
Back in the day.
Do you see how good that magic is? That's post Chris Angel, right? That's post Chris Angel.
I only learned it probably a year and a half ago.
Oh, so that's pre David Copperfield.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair.
But like I said, this is something you're going to be familiar with. Now, I'm going to share the name of someone that you probably don't know the name of.
Statue of Liberty, you're going to make it disappear.
Do you guys Statue of Liberty in here?
Okay, go on.
There's an Israeli magician named Uri Geller.
I know the name Uri Geller.
Spoonbender.
The spoon guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you know exactly what it is.
Yes, we know who Uri Geller is.
So right here in my pocket,
yes,
I brought a fork, not a spoon. But
can I see this fork?
Yeah, go for it.
Can I touch this fork?
Yeah, of course.
This is crazy, dude. That's just
you weren't expecting to have this on the show.
Now it's not real heavy. It's not real thick, but it's not. It's a normal fork.
It's a regular fork.
That's a regular old fork
and
right
here,
there.
Jason, if you want to examine it too.
It is right here. I can.
Yeah.
That is a regular
So
old
if you
fork.
need it to
Why
do
do you keep
something-
looking up there? Just do the fork.
Well, do you want them to see the trick?
No.
The fork can only be displayed right here.
No, I don't want them to see the trick at all.
All right.
We're leaving.
They can't see it on this
We're
side.
leaving. We're leaving,
I'll
Jason.
make sure.
We don't want them to see
I'll make sure.
Oh, he's gonna lift it.
I'll make sure it's visible to the camera.
There he goes.
Okay.
That's fine. He's fine.
Now, I also have a Sharpie with me here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, there's 2 reasons we're going to use this in a second. And we're going to involve both of you. Okay. So, Jason, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you put your initials right there on the bowl of the fork. Okay.
Okay.
Permanent ink. Make sure that doesn't come off, right?
Now that your initial BP, big peen,
Big
right?
P.
Big peen.
Yeah. JK.
That's
just kidding.
It's my
Very good.
OnlyFans.
All right.
name.
Now, on the opposite side mark here, right at the bottom, I'm going to have you put your initials.
Okay.
Okay.
Now that, just write them right here.
At the bottom of the fork there, or the handle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just put.
Okay. Now, there's 2 reasons we're going to do this, and I will explain the first one right now. I'll explain the second reason kind of as the trick goes on. Okay.
Hold on, look at this. Okay.
First reason is that this fork is unique to this moment right now.
This fork is unique to this moment.
I can't switch this fork out for another fork because
it's got our
and
names
you
on
can
it.
you can see it at all times.
we wrote it.
No matter which way I hold it, you can
There
see.
we go.
Yeah,
Okay?
we wrote it though. That's what I'm saying. We
Right,
wrote it. Like
right.
so, we can't say you did anything.
Exactly. Now, if you've ever seen Uri Geller in any video doing the way he does like a spoon bend, he'll usually like rub the stem right here and he'll just like bend and then it'll like do some sort of crazy.
Okay, yeah. I've seen. I know what you're talking about. Like I've seen people bend a spoon before.
Right, and I'm gonna make it a little bit more visual, a little more impressive. Okay.
More impressive.
A little bit more impressive.
Jason.
I'm ready.
Now
He's got a
this is
chub.
only gonna.
Jason's got a quarter shove right now,
This
dude. When
is-
he heard you were coming, it was like a half of a quarter, but now it's a full quarter. So keep going.
Now this is only gonna work
Right.
if we concentrate
Okay.
on the strength that you two have as being connected in radio for as long as you have.
Okay.
I think we can make this work.
I think so.
If we keep that in mind.
All right.
Okay. Now, Jason, would you like to
a
go
married?
first?
We're like a married couple then.
There we go.
Is that how this works? We're like a married couple.
Are we gonna do it? What's going on here?
We're gonna do it.
All right.
Big Bean.
Now-
Big Bean on OnlyFans.
Now, unlike the way that Uri Geller does it, okay,
right, yeah.
all I'm going to do is I'm just going to wave the fork in the middle of the air, okay? And then I want you to just say the word bend, but say it in like some sort of dramatic fashion.
Okay.
Do one
say
of your noises and then say bend.
Yeah, go ahead and practice it.
Yeah, do it. Do your thing.
Bend!
There you
Okay,
go.
okay,
That's fine.
okay.
That's perfect.
All right.
All right, ready? So I've got it waving. Hopefully the camera can see that. Okay. Now go ahead and say it.
Bend!
What the?
Now that's really in there, right? You can see that. Up. Yeah, hold that up. Make sure they can see that there's like one of the tines is completely bent now.
Like if you can see it from the side there you go. There's a really good it's bent.
Now remember, I wasn't even touching that end at all. There's no
in the middle. That end.
Yeah.
What was that?
Now I'll do this one right in front of your face.
But wait, how?
This is bent right now.
Okay.
Now, Mark.
All right, fair. That's fair.
I'm gonna come over to you.
Okay.
Okay. Is there a camera on you?
Yes. I got a camera right there.
Okay.
That was one right there.
All right.
Yeah, you can just stand there. Yeah, you're fine.
All right. Cool. Now I've got this right here.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
You do.
So what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you hold open your hand flat.
All right.
Okay.
I'll hold open my hand flat right here in front of everybody.
Now I'm gonna have you close your hand around the fork.
Okay.
Okay. Now hopefully the camera can see that. I guess. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just twist it inside your hand.
Here, hold on. Let me move that microphone a little bit so that the people up there can see.
Yeah.
Okay, he's twisting.
Nice. So I'm twisting inside your hand. Now in a second.
Twisting in my hand.
Yeah. You're gonna feel it start to twist.
Okay. In my hand.
Yes. Do you feel it actually twisting?
Yeah, I feel it.
But do you feel like it like twisting?
A little bit in the middle, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit,
Yeah. Now we stop.
A little bit in the middle.
Now I told you there was
I haven't been grabbing on super hard.
Right.
I'm hard enough to where I can feel your twists and stuff.
Right. But I'm not going inside the center because
nope, you're not. I got my hand. You haven't been in there at all.
Now I told you there was a second reason why we had you sign the fork. Okay.
Yes. Right.
If you remember, you guys signed it on opposite sides.
Correct. Opposite ends.
Look at where those signatures are right now. They're on the same side of the fork. Do you know why that is? Open up your hand.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, that's crazy. That just spun in the middle of my hand to where both of our signatures are on the same side now.
There's a giant corkscrew in the middle.
Middle of the fork. That happened.
You can't get that out even.
That happened in the middle of my hand. That is not even a joke. That happened in the middle of my hand. It bent just like that.
You know what?
No, there was nothing in my hand. His hand didn't come in between. I had it full grip with the thumb over to the. We saw it live on the camera.
You're lucky we don't have a drop button.
No, I'm glad that
if we had a drop button.
We can mess with people because that
I would have said some stuff.
Dude,
thank you.
That is
that
amazing.
was fantastic.
Again, same. Remember when I had you say bend?
Yes. Yeah.
Do it again.
Bend.
Oh, do one more time.
You bend.
What?
Oh man.
Now it's like bent in like 3 different ways there. And again, I wasn't touching it.
Look what I've done. Look what I've done to that fork.
Jesus.
Just think about it, people.
There you go,
Would you
ladies.
really
Look at
want to
that.
tangle with us? And we can just do that to you with our
And
mind.
then one last time, Mark, and right in front of your face, you say bend. It's bent one more time.
Oh my God.
At the corkscrew. Right there.
How many times is this fork going to bend in half?
It's probably like bent 7 different ways.
Jesus. Dude, the corkscrew in the middle of my hand, that's nuts because that was legit.
And that is actually for you guys to keep with your signatures on it. A very weird piece of magic that you get
put
to
that
remember.
on the table tomorrow.
You get to remember that as part of your last show.
That is amazing. That is so awesome.
That is an amazing memorabilia piece.
Right?
That we should have mounted.
Yes.
And then with Keegan's picture.
Right? And one day we'll have
best
him.
guest ever. This. And then we'll just have that sitting on our stage with us at all times. Like it'll always be there.
We'll have him on, have him do it.
I mean, you
and
can
then
give it to
auction
Jason. Have him check it out too. There's
That's
there's nothing
crazy.
in my hands at all. There's no
Keegan, hey, listen. When we say you're a mentalist, when we say that you're a card trick magician, when we say that you're an up-close street magic guy, when we say you're one of the best in the game in this, we mean it. We're not joking. We're not saying there aren't other good magicians out there, and some that live in St. Louis. They are. But Keegan is really good at what he does, guys. We're taking this dude with us. Homeboy's coming with, what's your son's name?
Killian.
Killian's coming with us. Him and his
we're all going.
Killian and his Irish Reds. All of them are coming with us. We're doing it, guys. Nope, we're taking Keegan's coming with us.
It's happening.
Listen, if you and me go on tour, to talk politics,
He's coming
that
out.
dude's opening up for us every single show. And then we're bringing him out at the end of the show to do a big magic trick in front of everybody with us. Something crazy like that.
That was solid.
That is solid, dude. That's fantastic,
Thank you.
man.
Thank you.
That was something.
Well, I wish I could make a Trump presidency disappear or bend the way that
I'm
that
still trying to learn that trick.
all
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Now, I know.
yeah.
Jason,
is he still president? Did that work?
Yeah.
Jason, I know you're trying to be funny, but when you go back and play this video and you see your face the 3 times you say Ben,
Hey, look what he did.
It's amazing.
when you saw my face when I said Ben and you cracked up, that is literally your face you will see on the replays, and you'll go, "Oh my God, it was 4 times of us just doing that." Like it was
great.
crazy. It was fun.
That's the only reason I did the trick is for you to go like,
All right.
bet, yeah.
That was fantastic.
No, but
Opens
that's
the
great.
lungs.
But that's great. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, the reason why a guy like you works out well when it comes to entertainment, I can send you in on morning shows. I can send you in places to do stuff with cards real quick like that or stuff like that. And you're going to blow their minds. They're going to love you. They're going to promote the hell out of you, whatever town you drop in. And then you're just going to have more people at your shows. That's what's going to happen, Keegan. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I think that we're going to take you with us. Like, we're going to put you in some of these places with some of these people. I want to see if we can get you up on the game the same way we got up on the game, because I feel like I want to see good people deserve to get there, and I want to see them get their shot. And I feel like, Keegan, you're one of those people who puts in the effort, puts in the time for their craft to become better at it. And that's the only way you become better at your craft is the practice.
Yes, it is.
And people don't do that all the time. They might practice some few tricks maybe and get them really down pat, and they're able to use them anytime, multiple, like they might have 2 or 3 tricks that are really good that they're good at, and they can use them interchangeably through most social circles and situations and get away with it because they only got to do it a few times to where people go, "Oh, did you see so-and-so? They can do this," right? But for you to become better every time, like a David Blaine, to always be honing your craft, looking for that next goal, trying to get to that next spot to see what, or even a Chris Angel. Hey, listen, we can make fun of Chris Angel all we want for the past and Spike TV and this, that, and the other. But what I can tell you is I just said Chris Angel's name in 2025, 15 years later, and it still resonates, and I remembered it.
Right.
So evidently Chris Angel was good at what Chris Angel did too.
Yes.
So we can talk trash all we want, Drakes and Kendricks and this and that's, but if you got up there, you got up there.
Yes.
That's all there is to it. And I feel you could get up there. I feel you could be in the same lane with those guys, man. I really do. So, stick around, Keegan.
I will.
Jump into the back of the Range Rover. Maybe we'll take a
Take
trip.
a little trip, yeah.
Hey, right? We get Donald Trump hanging out the side. Get in. Get in the back. We're taking a trip to Biden's house to find Hunter's computer.
He won't stop crashing the economy.
You know who I wish was on this episode with us? Hunter Biden's computer.
Oh, yeah.
I wish Hunter Biden's computer was on this episode of the QNow with us. It's been a couple of years since we really Hunter Biden computered on the show, but Hunter Biden's computer, dude, was always doing crack.
I know.
He was nuts sniffing stuff. Like, it was crazy.
Giant pervert.
Big time pervert. Big time. By the way, big time game changer for Hunter Biden's computer when OnlyFans started. Like, that was, like, it was always pouring love in the others, but then when OnlyFans started, he just walked from the rest.
Like, showing your wiener cool. Like, it wasn't a violent offense anymore for Hunter Biden's
Can I
computer.
ask you a question?
Yes.
Have you heard about that Shannon Sharp situation?
Yes, there's an OnlyFans model, right?
Now,
Soon.
what's crazy about it, the reason I brought it up, I just said OnlyFans, because she's an OnlyFans model.
Yeah.
So she was offered $10 million by Shannon Sharp's people to walk away from her situation. $10 million. Now, she's on OnlyFans, so we know she's kind of in the streets trying to sell herself, right?
Yeah.
So, like, it's obvious that money's not coming in easy other ways. You're offered $10 million to walk away from a situation. She turned it down. She wanted $50K. She asked for $50K, and was offered $10 million, turned it down. Flat out turned it down.
Changed, right?
So either this is a setup by those lawyers and those people because of something with Shannon Sharp, or this girl
is being dead serious about everything.
Right,
and that choke comment that he made on his phone calls and stuff, that might not be too far off from what we're dealing. And by the way, I want people to know I'm not knocking Shannon Sharp. I don't have nothing to do with the situation. I don't know anything about it. I just thought that was a wild story when I heard you're offered $10 million. You just walk away from that.
Yeah.
But listen, there's a lot of famous people out there. They hide sides of themselves from you. Ladies and gentlemen, you see their characters in movies and TV. You see them do their songs on stage or the music video that they made. You might see an interview with Jimmy Kimmel or somebody else behind the scenes or with The Daily Show or something. Like, you get your pieces of media and content thrown to you in the ways that you like to ingest it, and that's what you know about the people. Like me and Jason said, we don't hate Donald Trump because we don't really know Donald Trump, but we hate his policies and the way his administration handles themselves, which in turn makes us look down on Donald Trump as a person. We feel like this person isn't representing American citizens in our country the way that they need to.
Yes.
That's where we're at with this other situation. Like, representation's not proper here in some form or fashion. I don't know which side it's on, but it's kind of wild. All right. Here's the deal. We're going to take a quick break here on the show. When we come back, Keegan, do you have any more magic in you?
I suppose
you might have something.
Maybe I've got something.
Something little, something special.
Tickle. Yeah.
Some little tickle in our throat. That's right, Big P. Big P over there. Big P. We'll be back on the show right after this.
I said certified free.
7 days a week.
Wet and gushy. Make that pull-out game weak.
Pull-out game week, Big Peen.
That's it.
Welcome back to...
Yeah, you're feeling with some wet and gushy.
Some wet and gushy.
It's almost worse.
Wet-ass P-word.
It's almost worse.
Remember Ben Shapiro? That wet-ass P-word.
Right when he was crapping on the song because he doesn't know what's going on.
He couldn't do it. Well, his wife won't let him.
That's right.
Listen. Okay, so in the world of Republicans, check this out, Keegan. You've got Ben Shapiro and his wife where he can't say the P word.
Right.
So he says wet ass and then he goes P word. That's what he said to his people, to like all of his fans and followers.
Yes.
Then we have Mike Johnson with his teenage son, who they share each other's porn with each other to monitor each other.
How much
and that was Mike Johnson's first major story once he became Speaker of the House. That was the first story that came out was him and his son watch each other's porn because they have to monitor it in their religion. This is the kind of people you elected. Hey, by the way, have you noticed there's only one Megyn Kelly blonde bombshell this time around, not 12 of them. Not Kellyanne Conway and this person and that person. No, there's just one yes woman who's a blonde bombshell who is going to be the focal point of she's blonde. You're ugly enough to think she's pretty. So guess what? She's pretty today. And you're going to do what we say. And you're like, I sure will. I love these donuts. That's what you're going to say. Because you like donuts. You love your donuts.
You're right. Things are cheaper.
They're cheaper. They're cheaper than I love donuts.
Right.
All right. Keegan's here.
He is.
I am.
He is here. I saw him.
That man
just bent a spoon.
Could you hand me that, sir? That man
in like 400 different ways.
That man just took a fork that I'm holding up here on the screen, and he bent it to where every tine was.
Oh no, you guys
out,
bent it. I didn't
and
bend.
It's upside down.
That's right. I went.
And it blew my mind because it was spun in the middle, right in my hand. Nobody else was in there. I didn't do anything with my hand. It just spun in the middle, in the center of my hand until it was bent. So, yeah, you're good. What else you got?
Okay. So, similar to that trick, right?
Yes, sir.
I wanted to do one more very special trick.
Okay.
That showcases how connected you two are.
We're pretty connected at this point. I mean, we're spinning each other's big peens and everything else.
I'll say this. it's a little bit weird.
It's a little weird.
That's cool with us.
Now with Jason, you said the right word.
Yeah, well, I'm on
this
this.
is going to get a little
now
weird.
I've piqued your interest.
What do you
Because
got?
in the 70 when we would say, let's get a little weird,
Like what?
it
I'm
got
down.
weird.
Right,
You know
here
what
we
I'm
go.
saying?
All right. So what's going to happen
Okay.
is when this is spoken over the radio, it's not going to sound like there's a trick happening.
Okay.
It really won't be until after everything's done that you two will discuss everything and you'll be able to. But on screen, it'll look a lot more impressive from what's happening.
Okay, that's fine. I'm down.
But once the trick is done, it's fairly quick.
All of it comes together. And
All
it
of it
looks
comes together.
amazing.
Then when you both discuss, then we can.
I see.
The viewers will be able, that are listening will be able to know how impressive this actually is. Okay.
That's fair. That's
okay?
fair.
So bear with me on this.
No problem.
Okay. So, Jason.
Yes.
In a second.
All right.
I'm going to ask you to remember that I'm going to touch you. I know.
Spot?
Yeah.
I won't forget that.
Okay.
I won't forget that.
All you have to do is you just have to remember where you feel me touch you.
Don't worry. I'll tell everyone.
Okay. So, like, if you feel me touch you right here,
okay,
remember,
I'll remember
it.
that. All right.
If you feel me touch you here, remember it. Okay. But obviously, from this point
You
on,
have a firm touch.
thanks.
He's
Okay.
got big hands.
He does.
All right. So what I'm going to
Soft.
have you do,
All right.
Jason, is sit where you're at.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Close your
Do I have
eyes.
to close that?
Well, you will in a second.
all right.
Oh, okay. I was just joking. I was just going to make him close
Well,
his
'cause
eyes.
I can see where
I mean,
it
if you're going to touch his big peen, he's going to close his eyes probably.
Yeah, but me
All right.
going to do that.
You want to
Now-
feel good about it. You're like, oh.
All right. Now I want you to imagine what I'm holding is a ball.
We know what that is, okay?
We know what's going on.
This is a ball of light.
Okay.
And where you're sitting right now, I want you to imagine, just watch it, follow it with your eyes. And when I snap my fingers, you're going to bring your head down, you're going to close them right now. Okay. Now, I'm going to come up here, and the very important thing here is that basically Jason can't see me, okay?
Right.
All right. Now,
Jason cannot see you. I know this for a fact.
Now, Jason, you can't really tell with your headphones, but Mark can confirm. I'm away from you right now.
He is not near you.
And I don't want you to open your eyes or say anything unless I ask you to answer a question, okay?
Like your wife tells you every time. Okay? Don't open your eyes
Now,
or say anything. Just
Based
sit
on,
there.
on the visuals right now, and kind of from the sound of my voice,
yes.
you can hear that I'm far away from you, and I'm not touching you right now, correct?
Correct.
But you did just feel me touch you.
Earlier, yes.
Just now, you felt me.
Did
Okay.
you feel him touch you just now?
Yes.
No.
Oh, okay.
All right, we'll try it again.
Well, here we go. Now, when I touched you, and if you're torn between like two numbers, think of the two numbers. What were they? How many times did I touch you?
Once.
How many times did I touch you? If you have like two numbers in your head, you can just between the two numbers.
1 to 3.
1 to 3. Okay. So
Yeah?
yeah. Now, go ahead and open your eyes for a second, Jason. Okay. So I'm over here. All right. Now take a deep breath. Okay. Close your eyes again. Now I'm going to ask you one more question about your feelings here.
Okay.
Okay. Now, when I touched you, how did it feel compared to the other touches?
The same.
It didn't feel any firmer or anything like that?
One did, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Which one?
The first one.
The first one felt firmer?
The
Okay.
first one felt firmer.
Now, again, I'm standing over here.
Yes.
Can you tell right now exactly where I last touched you at?
Yes.
Where was it?
In the middle of my back.
No.
Okay.
Go ahead and open your eyes, Jason.
Okay.
Now, Mark,
Yeah?
can you explain kind of what's been happening here this whole time?
So, Jason, as you've been sitting there, he has been touching me in different spots. And then we would ask you, hey, where did I just touch you? On the last one, he touched me in the dead middle of my back and pressed in good.
That's where I
And
felt
then he asked you, and you said on that last one, the middle of my back. And that's literally where he just touched you, I guess.
So I never
there
touched
it
you.
is.
I never
touched you at all. And on camera, he's over here. That's the impressive part. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing, dude. That's
So you
crazy.
two are more connected than you think you are in that regard.
At least 1 out of 3 times, we definitely are really connected.
At least in the same spot.
At least, yeah.
Right? I mean, think about it. If you told someone, hey, I tried to hit myself
Do you
and make
think that
him
would
feel
work
it.
the other way?
It's possible it could.
Let's
but-
try it.
You want to try it?
Let's try. Let's see what happens. Guys, This is not the magic trick. This is us experimenting. We have not tried this, so we don't know if we can change this, okay? So do everything you did with him with me, and then let's see what happens, okay?
Okay. So close your eyes for a second, okay? Now, again, I'm going to touch you in a second, okay? But I'm not going to do anything yet. But I want you to just remember when you feel me touch you right there, okay? So don't think of it, but remember when I touched you there, okay?
Okay, that was a bad choice by you. I can't feel that part of my entire body.
Okay.
The entire thing.
Okay.
So, like, that was a bad choice. I could tell from pressure where you had just touched. That's not a knock on you. Experiment. but I have neuropathy in the feet, so I can't feel anything.
Okay.
So go ahead and try it.
That's okay.
Try a different thing.
So you got your eyes closed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So again, we're showing that I basically I'm not touching you at all. Okay. We're coming over here to Jason. Now again, where did I touch you, Mark? Just now.
In the back of my head?
Was it in the back of your head? Or was it a little further down?
I mean, it was down, I would say, somewhere between here and, like, just above my shoulder, right around my shoulder. It was in that area, but on the back side of my head and my neck area.
Now, again,
that's what I felt.
I just touched Jason. I didn't even touch you.
Jason, where did he touch you?
Right.
In the upper part of your, like,
the back. Yeah, right in that section you did. I was right in the middle of it.
Okay, that's wild, dude. That's wild. I literally am just sitting here and it was like right around there.
That's it.
Yep,
right there.
Yep.
So I'm just like, okay, wow, dude. And that was an experiment.
Right?
Guys, this is what I'm talking about. Keegan is amazing at what he does. Even when we're experimenting, his magic works.
On the fly.
Because it's on the fly magic that works. Like, you guys have to pay attention to it. Now, Jason, we've only got a couple of minutes left here.
That's true.
On KYRO.
That's true.
And you've been here on this journey with me on KYRO and stuff with Shepherd and everything else over these last few years.
Old John.
And is there anything you want to say before we get out of here? Like, if there's anything you want to get off your chest, anything you want to say or talk about, just whatever it is.
Thank them for the opportunity.
Yeah, of course.
Without this, there's no that.
Yeah, like, ladies and gentlemen,
or as quick.
What we want to do is make sure that KYRO understands, and John Shepherd himself, specifically the owner of the station, one of the owners of the station, and Lee too, understand, without them doing what they did to put us here and give us this opportunity, other things wouldn't have fallen into place to push us into the direction to where it ended up being now. And so, like, because of that, it's a part of the story. It's a piece. It's necessary. Because without it, it might not exist at all. That's just how the world works. You know, one time I'm sitting around a fire pit. I think I told the story once before. And it's kind of a crazy story. But think about this, Keegan. There are things that set other things in motion in life. We were standing around a fire pit. It was like 10 o'clock at night. My buddy Tony's got his daughter there. She's like 10 years old. She's eating a Snickers wrapper. It's around Halloween time. She pulls the Snickers wrapper out, eats it, has it in her hand. She takes it and tosses it into the fire. Now, you know how Snicker wrappers are light and wispy and stuff. So as it's flying towards the hot flames and everything, of course it catches on fire. And before it even really gets in there and touches the wood or anything, gone. Tony turns around and looks at all of us and goes, what if that right there was the thing that set in motion Armageddon? Like, because she threw that wrapper, that was the thing that was necessary to make the next set of things fall into place so it all could come tumbling down. And then we started thinking about that around the fire. That's a wild idea. That idea of KYRO, whatever happens here, leads to this over here because of that. And without that, maybe not at all. Like, how many times there were great baseball players that had a shot, but it just didn't work out with the Cubs or the Cardinals or the whatever. But for somebody else, they got the first World Series championship with that team in their history of the last 100 years. Different people, different moments, different things that led to their positions. It's like crazy how that can all work out. And so, like, I sit here and I think about that, and you're right, Jason. That is important.
It is. There's no, like, I'll show you guys.
Yeah, but there's nothing to show.
No.
What we need to show is that we learned well.
Yeah.
And that we're going to take that and we're going to explode it and we're going to expound upon that and we're going to try to entertain the people of America with a similar show like this. The things that we like to talk about. Having people like Keegan on. Having things. And by the way, you guys are going to be able to hear us and see us 3 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. On the Occupy Democrats YouTube channel.
Yep.
That's where the show will debut. Plus, you'll see us in your Instagram reels, TikToks, everywhere else. Our show is going to be on YouTube 3 days a week. And you guys come check it out. Watch the show. Join the others that'll be watching the show. Enjoy what you see. Teach us. Tell us. Criticize us. Come at us.
Yeah.
Talk to us. We are not scared to talk to people about politics. And we don't think we know everything. We don't. We're human beings. We make mistakes. We don't know everything. We didn't pick Donald Trump to win the 2016 election.
We did not.
We did not. We picked against him. We were wrong. We picked Kamala Harris, hoping she would win. But Donald Trump won. These are things that happen within our history. Like it's part of our world, guys. We'll deal with it, I guess. Here we are again.
All right, think about this, though. It's only been 100 days.
Yeah.
100 days.
100 days, guys.
It violated the Constitution
He
like
has
6 times.
already done more in 100 days with stupid executive orders and decisions with Doge than he did in 4 full years of presidency the last time around. Why was your country so great back then? Because Barack Obama handed Donald Trump an amazing country that had taken 8 years of rebounding and had another 4 or 5 to go until COVID hit. That's it. That's why Donald Trump did well the first time, because Barack Obama. And by the way, all of you conservatives out there listening right now, the next independent or Democratic president is going to give you the best America you've been in a long time, because it will have been 4 years since you remember normalcy.
No.
It will be 12 years since craziness hasn't been in your face every single day. And all that person's going to do is reverse every single thing that Donald Trump did and bring it all the normalcy back to the old prices, the old this, the old that, all of it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's all they have to do. They don't even have to do anything else. Just come back to this, and then maybe we can work backwards a little more. But this will be fine 4 years from now. That's what's crazy about now. 4 years from now, this will be okay.
This will be okay in 4 years. It will. Hopefully.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yay.
But
okay.
if you get a chance, you want to check out Occupy Democrats.
Yes.
That's where we work and are going to be talking on the show from now on, at least for a little while. And we love any of you to come along and join us. I think it would be really exciting. It's about time for us to get out of here on the show.
No.
So, first things first. Keegan.
Yes.
You are an amazing person. Where can they find you again?
On Facebook,
Yes.
on Instagram, or LinkedIn, or my website, www.lockandkeymagic.com.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, me and Jason want to thank KYRO, thank John Shepherd, thank Lee Thompson, thank everybody who works at the station, thank Occupy Democrats, all of you out there that have been listening for years to the QNow. We're taking a hiatus. This show may or may not be back. We do not know. What we do know is it's time for us to get out of here on the Q. We will see you guys next time on the show.